Welcome to the beautiful city of Milan, Italy. Milan, Italy, or as the Italians call it, Milano. It's considered one of the 4 fashion capitals of the world. It's also home to the National Stock Exchange, making it the financial hub of Italy. However, Milan is also known for its amazing history and beautiful architecture. Hi, it's Mark with Any Way You Travel. Thanks for joining us as we check out Milan, Italy. Hit the subscribe button or scan the QR code. Give us a thumbs up and hit the notification bell so you can always travel with us. Let's start our tour of Milan at the Duomo di Milano.
This is the historic Duomo Cathedral. It was commissioned in 1386. It's over 12,000 square feet and it's supported by 52 huge arches.
Also known as the Metropolitan Cathedral of the Nativity of St. Mary, it is the cathedral church or the seat of the Archbishop of Milan. It's the largest church in Italy, even larger than St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican City. The church sits on top of the ruins of a 4th century church, and it's on the site of what was the center of the ancient city. Now, you need tickets to go inside the church and up on the church's roof, so make sure you buy them online early because the day fills up quickly. I bought mine around 7 a.m. It says you have to print the tickets out, but you'll get an email and they can scan the QR code on the email. Trust me, it's well worth the price. The inside of the cathedral is breathtaking and the artwork is beautiful. This is the statue of St. Bartholomew. According to tradition, Bartholomew, who was one of Christ's 12 apostles, was martyred by being filleted or skinned alive. The statue shows the skinned Bartholomew standing with his stripped-off flesh laying over his shoulder. The stained glass is absolutely stunning. Over the centuries, numerous architects and artists, including Leonardo da Vinci, have left their mark on the Duomo.
The rooftop of the Duomo has over 135 spires and 3,500 statues.
However, not all the work on the church was done during the Renaissance. The facade was completed in the early 19th century under the order of Napoleon Bonaparte, who was crowned King of Italy in the cathedral. The final touches, including the installation of the bronze doors, were completed in the 20th century. Today, the Duomo di Milano stands as a symbol of Milan. Renowned for its spires and statues, it remains a major religious and cultural landmark, attracting millions of visitors each year. When you go to Milan, this is a must-see. Next, let's go shopping. The Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II in Milan is one of the oldest shopping malls in the world. It was built between 1865 and 1877. Named after Vittorio Emanuele II, the first king of the Kingdom of Italy, the Galleria was built to celebrate Italian unity. It has a cruciform design with 4 glass vaulted arcades intersecting in a massive glass dome.
Now, over my shoulder, you'll see a bull in the mosaic on the floor, and you'll see people stand on the bull's balls and spin. And that is intended and meant to bring good luck and a return to Milan. Okay, now I'm gonna spin on the bull's balls in hopes of getting good luck and it bringing me back to Milan. So let's see if it works. Now, I don't know if it's going to work. I'm getting dizzy, but I'm believing I'm going to make it back to Milan and I'm going to have great luck.
What do you say we take a look at a castle right in the middle of downtown Milan?
This is Sforza Castle. It was built in the late 1300s. Throughout the years when various forces occupied Milan, they used this castle as their fortress. Leonardo da Vinci lived here for a while.
Today, the castle houses several of Milan's museums and art collections, including the Museum of Ancient Art and the Museum of Musical Instruments. It also contains Michelangelo's unfinished Rondinini Pieta. While the castle is free to go into and wander about, there is a fee to go into the museums. The castle was expanded and renovated by its namesake, Francesco Sforza, in the 15th century. He transformed it into a grand ducal residence, or a place dukes could hang their hat. The castle was a symbol of the Sforza dynasty's power. Throughout its history, the castle has been used as a military barracks and a private residence. How'd you like to keep this house clean? And check out what used to be a really cool moat. Now, located right behind Sforza Castle is Sempione Park. It was established in 1888 on the former parade ground of Sforza Castle. The park covers about 95 acres and has all kinds of picturesque landscapes, a lake, and a lot of historic monuments. It serves as a central park and green space for the residents of and visitors to Milan. On the far side of Sempione Park is a small reminder of Napoleon Bonaparte's completely overblown ego.
This is the Arc de Pace, or the Arch of Peace. It was built in the early 1800s to commemorate the arrival of Napoleon in Italy. Now, originally it was going to mark the beginning of a street from Milan, Italy, to Paris, France. However, when the Italians figured out that Napoleon was kind of a little dictator, they really didn't like him. And once they got rid of him, you'll notice at the very top, there is a statue of Napoleon in a chariot. Now, he kind of fancied himself that kind of guy, right? And so it was facing Italy. But after Napoleon was gone, the people of Italy turned that statue around to where it was facing France. And it looked like Napoleon was leaving Italy.
When you're in Milan, don't be afraid to utilize their mass transit system, subways and buses, but my favorite was the streetcar. But I'll tell you what, when you ride the streetcars, well, you're in for quite a ride.
If you ride one of the streetcars, the only thing I can tell you to do is hang on, because it is a rough and wild ride.
The mass transit system is very reasonable, but my suggestion to you is do your research on public transit before you head to Milan, and don't be afraid to ask a local for help. These 16 marble columns, dating back to the 2nd or 3rd century AD, originally formed part of a Roman temple. In the 4th century, they were moved to this location in front of the Basilica of San Lorenzo, Milan's oldest church. The basilica was built in the 300s during the Roman Empire. However, the basilica has undergone numerous reconstructions due to fires and structural issues. The basilica is renowned for its large central dome added in the 1500s. Over the centuries, St. Lorenzo has been one of the most significant religious and cultural landmarks in all of Milan.
All right, a couple things you need to know when you visit Italy, specifically Milan. And that is, when you step down, there is no yellow stripe like there is in America to draw your attention to the fact you're getting ready to step down. You just have to pay attention. They believe you're smart enough to know when you're going to step down. The second thing you need to know is that you have got to look out for the motorcycles. It's a competition between pedestrians and motorcycles and cars. They think that they have the right of way, so just be really careful. And the third thing you need to remember is when you go to a restaurant and you order water, chances are you're going to be paying for that water. Water is not free like it is in America, so just be aware of that.
This is the Basilica of St. Ambrose. It's one of Milan's most important religious sites. In fact, the church was founded by St. Ambrose himself, who was the Bishop of Milan between 379 and 386 AD. Originally known as the Basilica Martyrum, it was built on the site where numerous Christian martyrs had been buried. The church has undergone several reconstructions with significant renovations in the 9th and 12th century that gave it its Romanesque style. The church includes 2 bell towers, the atrium, and the church's famous golden altar. The basilica is also home to many, many works of art. Underneath the church rest the remains of St. Ambrose himself. Milan is a city of beautiful architecture and amazing culture, delicious food and desserts, and incredible history. If you enjoyed our tour of Milan, Italy, hit the subscribe button or scan the QR code. Give it a thumbs up and hit the notification bell so you can always travel with us. Thanks for watching any way you travel.